Happy Wednesday. It is Hump 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 Day. I'm the prep queen, Ariel Epstein. Hope you all tune in. I've got something really funny to discuss with you to start the show. Not sure how long we'll go today because I don't have any guests and I don't know how smart it is for me to continue talking for a full hour still. Did 2 hours already of VSIN with Stormy Tony. Doing that all week long, filling in for JVT. So that's been a lot of fun. We've talked a lot about some news in the NFL. We've talked about Major League Baseball a lot. I've got a little WNBA action for tonight. My hair is a mess because Marley and I took a little nap together. Marley likes to stay. Marley likes to wake up at 5 in the morning. It's very annoying. FaceTime Kelly? No, I need a break from her. Kelly and I are not going to see each other for 2 more weeks. That's not what I'm starting the show off with. That's very unconventional. Sean wants me to discuss the Reese's Oreo. I hate peanut butter, so it's probably not my thing to discuss. See, like my voice already. Absolute disaster on my voice. We've got a lot of NFL headlines to get to also. Like Aaron Rodgers, is he actually married? Is anyone buying that Aaron Rodgers is married in the chat? I'm not. Like, he says he's so enamored with his wife. Where's the wife? This feels like a Manti Te'o situation. I'm not going to discuss yet about Rodgers. What I want to discuss, because BetOnline gave us odds. If you guys saw this in the headlines, and I'm not making fun of the league, I just think it's funny. I hope you guys saw this. BetOnline gave us odds for the next colored dildo on the WNBA floor. This is very unlike me. I don't usually discuss this stuff. I'm pretty professional. But this was wild. Like, have we seen this in sports? Black -150, pink 2-1, purple 5-1, green 6-1, rainbow 8-1. I feel like rainbow is kind of cool. Like, have you seen that? I don't know. I don't really do like that kind of shopping, except when I was in Amsterdam. I did in Amsterdam. Amsterdam was a ton of fun going through all those like sex shops and stuff. But this is wild. Like, thank you, BetOnline, for the entertainment of the day. And I knew you all would enjoy this. So if you guys want to take bets on the odds, next dildo on the floor, you know someone's going to do it. You know someone's going to the WNBA game and doing this just for s and giggles. I still won't curse, but I'll show that on the show because that's the kind of professional I am. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here for prop bets. That's the kind of prop betting that we're looking for here on the show, guys. I think it's pretty awesome. WNBA, we'll talk about some prop queen edges for that later on in the show. Rainbow for the cash out. I mean, it's like the long shot at 8-1. It kind of makes sense. At this rate, I don't even care if I'm canceled because, like, I don't even get paid for this. Sean produces content on this show. What? Sean, how was your Sean hit a nice SGP today. So today, as you guys could join the Prop Queen Sports X page. Sean had Tigers. What a surprise. He had the Tigers, the over. Wait, hold on. 4-bet parlay. You had under a half a run. You didn't really tell me the specifics. I'm assuming you had under half a run in the first inning. Can you give me that full parlay, Sean? I know you had the Tigers money line. You had an over 7.5, under 5.5, something. Like your parlay ticket doesn't make any sense. So you got to send it to me with the details of what the SGP was. Yeah, so other headlining news, Aaron Rodgers, I was mentioning that a little bit. I still don't believe that he's actually married. Trey Hendrickson reports to camp finally, but he's not really practicing. And here's what I don't understand. So Trey Hendrickson, and I'm trying to keep track of all of the trade stuff as well. MLB trade deadline tomorrow. What I don't understand is Trey Hendrickson holds out because he wants more guaranteed money in his contract, something that the Bengals don't really do, but they did do it for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. The holdout is because he doesn't have enough guaranteed contracts. So you're fined $50K a day for every day of training camp you miss. So Trey Hendrickson reports, but he said that the contract situation hasn't changed. Obviously, just because you show up to practice doesn't mean that the Bengals want to offer you like 3 years of guaranteed money. I just don't understand why. I understand he doesn't want to get fined. there wasn't going to be any change to the contract situation with Trey Hendrickson just by showing up. Also, the Miami Dolphins, their cornerback, Kader Kohu, season ends because of a partial ACL tear. The Dolphins have now lost their entire secondary from last year. This was the secondary that ranked 9th in the league. Jalen Ramsey, Kendall Fuller, Javon Holland, Jordan Poyer, all gone. They have Minkah Fitzpatrick this year. Ashton Davis now has a foot injury, their corner. Mike Hilton comes over from Cincy. Jack Jones, and then the rest are rookies are just really young. So that Dolphins secondary, especially the first few weeks, I'd be testing it. The Dolphins to start the season. I was going to take a look at their schedule. So the Dolphins to start the season get the Colts, the Patriots, and then the Bills and the Jets, Carolina Panthers. It's not that bad. Colts will be beatable. I know Anthony Richardson will probably win that starting job, but I don't trust that he could stay on the field. New England, they're decent. But Buffalo, you'll get smacked around. I'll be looking for some longest reception props on the Miami Dolphins week 1. That's for damn sure. Oh, sorry. I was talking football, so I read this as the Ravens. But, yeah, Orioles. Cedric Mullins' catch today was freaking awesome, by the way. He's going to get traded. Blue Jays. What else are you guys talking about? So you guys are talking baseball in the chat. I was talking football. Lastly, Isaiah Likely, the Ravens tight end. He fractured his foot. Should be able to return for the opener. Him and Mark Andrews, 17 combined touchdowns last year, the most by any tight end duo. So it'd be really nice if they could get Likely back. They do have Charlie Kolar, but he's more of like a defensive tight end. He's really just good at blocking. So those are some things in the NFL that stood out. Bucky Irving, 1,025.5 rushing yards, your favorite. For Monty, his favorite future. I love props.cash for looking at these futures. Hall of Fame game tomorrow, 32.5. What do you think? I should bring on someone tomorrow for Hall of Fame game. I'll bring on somebody. I'll see who I could bring on that might be good at that. Maybe Yanni. Anyone want to see Yanni tomorrow? I could ask him. I'll find somebody. Probably an under, right? Haven't the Hall of Fame games gone under recently? Or maybe Marco could tell us some trends. Marco or any of the Wager Talk guys. Ralph has probably some good Hall of Fame trends I could grab. So I'll see you at the Hall of Fame tomorrow. But my favorite NFL future so far is actually Jalen Hurts over passing yards. I actually had it written down. Jalen Hurts passing yards props 3,200.5. He had 2,903 passing yards last year, but he went over 3,200.5 in the 2 years prior. Obviously, that was pre-Saquon era. Saquon's rushing yards prop is only 1,500.5. After a 2,000-yard rushing season, it's 1,500.5. It wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles, under their new OC, I think it's like the 5th OC in 6 years for Jalen Hurts. But it wouldn't surprise me if they decide to just kind of play it a little safe on Saquon early in the year. You get Jalen Hurts throwing the football a lot more. Make sure Saquon doesn't get hurt. Got a new right guard. Mekhi Becton's gone. So you had to fill that with probably like Tyler Steen, who's a third year out of Bama. He might fill that role at right guard. Get the ball. I don't know. I'm just saying, when the futures market's telling you something and it's speaking to a certain story, maybe we have to look to the story, and that's Jalen Hurts throwing the football more and not as much on Saquon Barkley running the football. Let's talk some Major League Baseball. So it's in the headlines that Ronald Acuna Jr.'s got a grade 1 right calf strain, indicating he'll be on the team's anticipated timeline. They'll monitor his progress, could return the next 2 to 3 weeks. Listen, I get it. If you're Acuna and you really want to play because you're just like an athlete and you don't want to let your team down. But, dude, your team sucks. And it is, let's see what the score is right now in Atlanta. The Braves, that game ended. They lost 1-0 to the Royals. Atlanta's now 45-62. The Braves are currently 16.5 games back of the NL East. And in the wild card spot, the Braves are 13.5 games back. They are the third to worst team in the National League right now for the wild card spot. So your season's over. So why the hell would you be playing Ronald Acuna Jr.? It's just like, let's leave him alone. Let's go. Let's just wait for 2026. Enough. We don't want to see Ronald Acuna hurt. What I'm pissed about is that Ronald Acuna, his stolen base prop never came out. Obviously, because he started the year late. They still never posted it. I wanted to bet the under so bad on his stolen base prop. Very sad. What are you talking about my Yankees? I'm not sure why the Yankees don't trade for Kwan. Yankees don't have prospect capital for Kwan. Yankees need a pitcher. Yankees need another pitcher. They need a right-hander. The Yankees need a right-handed pitcher in their rotation. That's what the Yankees need. Hurts over interceptions props are a lot. He's probably going to throw the football more this year. We're jumping all the way around. We are jumping everywhere today. Oh, no, I don't want to post a video. We also, John Morosi of MLB Network also posting Justin Verlander's available on the trade market. He's on an expiring contract out of respect to future Hall of Famer. The Giants are open to working out a deal if it makes sense for Verlander and the organization. His last 2 starts, 10 innings pitched, 1 earned run allowed. So Justin Verlander is on the market. Seattle Mariners have acquired Caleb Ferguson, the left-handed reliever, from the Pirates. That's not bad. Eugenio Suarez leaves Comerica with the Diamondbacks, so he hasn't been traded yet. I saw a really sad video of Budo from the Mets finding out in the bullpen that he was traded and he was crying. It was the team that drafted him. That's so sad. I was talking to who was I talking? I was talking to either Sean Armstrong or Adam Warren a few years ago, both relievers / pitchers in the league. Warren retired, but I was talking to, I think Sean Armstrong it was, because he got traded midway through the year. He always does. But they talk about how much, it's not really as much about the teammates as it is about their families too. Just so much that goes in their brains at the trade deadline when they get traded. Now they have to think about where they're moving their families, if they can move their families. Or, for example, Sean Armstrong, his family lived in Tampa, and he got sent over to San Diego. Or maybe that was Adam Warren. It might have been Adam Warren. But just those kinds of things. There's a lot going on in these players' minds around this time. Dylan Cease rumored to potentially be going to Houston. Like, that's one of the top candidates that the Houston Astros are very hopeful to get. If the Astros got Dylan Cease, that would be nuts. So right now, the Houston Astros in the futures market are at 12-1 to win the World Series. Not saying that, and look, you just can't count out the Astros. Every year, the Astros find a way. Even in their worst years, the Astros find a way. So right now, the Houston Astros in OPS, they rank 12th. Batting average, the Astros rank 2nd. Pitching is the issue. The Astros, they rank, batting average against, they rank 3rd. The Astros rank 7th in total ERA. Their starting pitching ERA. It's just they're very young. Outside of their top 2, they're very young. The Astros starting rotation ranks 10th in Major League Baseball. The Astros bullpen ranks 5th. If the Astros got another starter, like a Dylan Cease, that's dangerous. I don't think the Yankees are going for Cease. Here's the problem. The Yankees don't really need anybody right now on a long-term deal because they have Garrett Cole coming back next year. So the Yankees aren't going to give up all these prospects for potential number 1, number 2, because you've got Garrett Cole coming back. I see them going for like a Mitch Keller. Just another right-handed pitcher, because you can't have your best pitchers just being lefties. I know. I'm not high on Max Fried. I'm not high on Fried and I'm not high on Rodon. But the Yankees, knowing the Yankees, are not selling people out of the farm system. They're not going to make big trades for a pitcher like a Dylan Cease because Garrett Cole is coming back next year. Sandy Alcantara, I could see too. Sandy's definitely getting traded. Even if anyone follows Pedro Martinez tweeted out today that he should be going somewhere, Sandy. Give him a fresh start, Pedro said. He needs a place that he could feel like he could win, get a fresh start, maybe get back to that Cy Young caliber that he was at. Some of the big names, Eugenio Suarez, Mitch Keller, maybe Zach Allen, Sandy Alcantara, Stephen Kwan, Shane Bieber. These are all different names that are swirling around the trade news. Even a Shane Bieber is very interesting. Hi, Lisa Morris on Twitch. My day has been great so far. How has your day been? Thanks for tuning in. The Cubs need 1 to 2 starters and 1 to 2 relievers. We have a day left, so watch Ricketts do nothing because he's a penny pitching embarrassment. Yeah. That tends to happen with the Cubbies. And none of them are needed by the Yankees. What up, gang? What up, J-Main34? All right, so let's get to some action for today. I'll go game by game. I don't have something in every game, but I'll go through the MLB info that I was sent today, and we could go game by game for stats, and maybe it'll lead us to doing some things that I didn't put in the newsletter. I'll show you good and bad matchups for the day, too. Images. Good matchups and bad matchups for the day. Marley's doing great on the couch right now. I'm very proud of her. Big girl. Good matchups of the day. Austin Hedges does well against the lefty Kyle Freed, hitting 429. Paul Goldschmidt hitting 500 with 2 doubles and a homer against Zach Littell. Austin Wells hitting 500 with a double and 2 homers against Littell. You could look as I saw on props.cash. Over a half a hit or total base for Wells. He's cashed in 3 of his last 5. Anthony Volpe has great numbers against Littell, 5 for 11 with 2 homers. Bad matchups. Brent Rooker, 1 for 17 against Brian Wu with 8 Ks. Under 1.5 total bases has cashed in 62% of home games at night against righties for Rooker. Taylor Ward, 3 for 17 with 3 Ks against Eovaldi. And Trent Grisham hitting 143 with a double, 7 walks, 4 Ks against Littell. I'm all over Volpe tonight. Yeah, he's got great numbers in this matchup. Keller to the Jays. Verlander's career was over in 2023. No one has the heart to tell him. Oh, did that just happen? Keller to the Jays? Damn. Where'd you guys see Keller to the Jays? Wait, where'd you guys see Keller to the Jays? I'm so confused. Oh, thank you. Why is everyone talking Keller to the Jays in the chat? You guys just scared me. Okay. I gotta stop reading the chat. You guys are distracting me today. We've got some pitcher props to look at. So pitcher props that I like today. So over 4.5 Ks at plus 120. So he did this last year where he faced the Yankees the first time and didn't go over, but then went over the second time, had 3 strikeouts the first start, 6 the next. Same thing's going to happen this year. So he's gone over 4.5 Ks and 4 of 7 starts against high K rate lineups. 6 of 9 right-handers to start against the Broncos Bombers have had 5 strikeouts or more since the All-Star break. What else did I want to say? Yeah, he had 3 strikeouts on May 3rd against the Yanks. So for the plus money price, it's worth a shot at the over. Another plus money price, Rangers righty Nathan Eovaldi over 6.5 Ks against the Angels. I wish it was home, but look at the last 3 right-handers to face the Angels. DeGrom had 8 strikeouts. Logan Gilbert had 7. George Kirby had 9. Eovaldi's good, if not better, than any of these pitchers. And he punched out 6 Angels earlier this year, and the number's still 6.5. He owns a 2.44 ERA, going 5-2 in 8 starts at Angel Stadium. Great price, plus money to the over for Nathan Eovaldi. There we go. For his outs tonight, I'll show you guys between props.cash and the propqueen.com newsletter. Sorry, making sure I didn't miss any trades. So I'll tell you why I didn't bet the over on outs. Props.cash likes it. Let's see why I didn't like it today. Okay. So Zach Littell, look at that. That's a lot of green for going over on his out. 16.5. On the road, a lot of green there. 16.5 for the Yankees. Starting pitchers average, that's why I didn't do it. Starting pitchers average 15 outs a game against the Yankees. But props.cash, very high. Away at night, 2025. All 4 games on the road at night against the Yankees. Went over in all 3, both in New York, dating back to last year. Props.cash likes the over on outs. Let's see how many people against the Yankees have done it. I'll show you guys on the spreadsheet. Share screen. Spreadsheet. So if you look at right-handers against the Yankees recently, Boyle, whatever, 15 outs for Rasmussen, Wheeler, 17 outs for Suarez, 17 outs for Walker, 22 outs for Bassett, 15 for Scherzer, 21 for Gossman, 18 for Holmes, Strider 18. Littell's good. I'm expecting a good outing from him. So if you feel like any of these pitchers are similar to him, if not better, so you could look to those outs props for Littell at over 16.5 outs. So he has to go into the 6th, right? Into the 5th, 15, 16. He has to get 2 outs in the 5th. Littell averages 18.8 outs last 10 starts, though. Yeah, so according to props.cash, in his last 10 starts, 18.8 outs, 18.3 overall this season. On the road, Littell averaging 19.6, going over in 10 of 11. Last 20 starts, he's cashed outs prop 16 of 20. Numbers tell you it should go over, especially if he goes over his case. Hopefully he has a good outing, and we should go over on the Littell outs. I don't hate it. Some other hitter props that you guys could look at tonight. If you guys aren't riding the Kyle Stowers train, then you're insane. Kyle Stowers has been so good this season and so good since the All-Star break. He's for the Miami Marlins up against the Cards. The book hasn't moved this number, and he's been crushing it. He's gone over this prop in 7 of his 10 games since the All-Star break. He's averaging 2.3 hits, runs, and RBI in road games this year. Stowers has also gone over 1.5 in 2 of 3 games since last year against St. Louis, hitting 500 against the club in his career. So you could look to Stowers over his hits, runs, and RBI. Cashed it last night. Keep riding the hot streak for Kyle Stowers. Will Smith tonight for the Dodgers. You could take a look at him as well. He's got a lot of green there on the road at night against righties. So Smith's hitting 302 in 11 games in his career at Great American Ballpark in Cincy. He's averaging 2.3 hits, runs, and RBI in 24 games on the road at night against right-handers. The over has cashed in all 3 games that Smith's played in Cincy since the start of last year. So you could look there for Will Smith. Corey Seager is another name that stood out as a bat tonight. Look at all that green for Corey Seager of the Texas Rangers. So Corey Seager tonight in LA on the road against righties. Seager's averaging 2.3 hits, runs, and RBI. In those spots, he's cashed in 7 of his last 10. Seager's hitting a career 320 at Angel Stadium. And dating back to the start of last year, he's averaging 3.4 hits, runs, and RBI against the Angels, going over 1.5 in 5 of 8 games. He didn't go over yesterday, so it actually makes me like it more for Seager to have a bounce-back game in a stadium that he hits well in. And Seager is 4 for 6 with a home run and 3 ribbies against the Angels starter, Jose Soriano. So Corey Seager is probably my favorite of the 3 just because I'm a weirdo, and whenever someone doesn't hit the day before, I always expect that they do hit the next day if it's a trend that they tend to hit these. Martinez walk prop against the Dodgers. Let's take a look. Walks. Martinez. Over or under? You saying over or under for Martinez walk prop? I'm assuming you mean over. That's my guess. So this is what props.cash says. They're at home. At home, his walks. I know. I saw that. We're going to talk Sophie Cunningham in a minute. Okay. Nick Martinez walks prop. The under is juice at home at night. He's gone over, though. Look at that. A lot of green there for the home at night. 4 days rest. Doesn't care. 1.5 walks. I don't have on the MLB prop spreadsheet walks. I only have runs allowed and hits allowed and innings pitched. Let's look at props, though. Last 10 righties, 50% of the last 10 went over their walk prop. Only 31% in the last 20. But anyway, looks like Nick Martinez does walk a lot of batters at 2 to 3 batters at home at night, going over 1.5 at plus 125, if that's something that you are interested in. I know you've talked about it, but it's props.cash, Earl. So for people that don't know props.cash, I do have the giveaway still available if you want it. So it's great. They've got WNBA, MLB, NFL futures posted. So you could do, for props.cash, use promo code PropQueen. You get $10 off. So it makes it like a $9 for the first month that you use it. And I'll give you a free premium month of the propqueen.com newsletter. So you're basically getting like a 2-for-1 kind of special. So go to props.cash and then you use promo code PropQueen and you're able to get $10 off the first month and you get the free propqueen.com month newsletter premium subscription. It is super helpful because it gives you all the graphs and it tells you all of the different ways that, like, whether it's all the different splits, whether it's the averages, whether it's other players and how they've matched up against these opponents, head-to-head matchups, all that stuff that I'm showing you guys on the screen. Super helpful, especially if you're not good at certain handicapping of sports. I never handicapped the WNBA before, so it's really been helpful for me to help my WNBA handicapping by using props.cash. For MLB, I use it a lot for hitter props because I think hitter props are is one of the hardest things to handicap in sports. I'm very excited to see how props and I agree and disagree during the NBA season and the NFL season. But like Coach said, Coach Young came on yesterday and said he uses it for the W. It's a great tool to use to help you, but it doesn't mean that you only use it. Like, I don't just use props.cash. I compared their numbers to my spreadsheet numbers. So, for example, there are a lot of times where I like an outs prop or a hits prop because it correlates between props.cash and the strikeout prop spreadsheet or the MLB prop spreadsheet. My sister's here, so now my dog is going to be so excited. So Marley's going to be pumped that she has a guest and doesn't have to worry about me. No other trades yet. Let's talk some WNBA. WNBA for today. We've got 3 different props that I put in the spreadsheet. And I'm going to have to get rid of some of these things. Let me get rid of some of the graphics so that I could add some. And then we'll get to best bets. Doing a short show today because not a lot of games on the slate. We're going to talk Sophie Cunningham. We'll talk Alyssa Thomas and Nafisha Collier. You want to see my sister? She probably does not want to be on TV right now. Nope, she doesn't. I can't play the Sophie clip. I'm not getting killed for copyright. But Sophie Cunningham basically said that you're all idiots if you think that CC is not the head of the league. She is the face of the league. And I liked how she phrased it, Sophie Cunningham. She said, you're crazy if you think that Caitlin Clark's not the face of the league, but we do have a lot of badasses in the WNBA. It's true. Why can't we all just understand? Like, Tom Brady was the face of football for a while. Patrick Mahomes is now like the face of football in many capacities. So what? You don't see these other NFL players complaining about it. As long as the league's doing well, then the players are doing well. Who cares? You guys finally could fly private and you finally could do good and nice things because of Caitlin Clark. Anyway, let's talk some NBA props, WNBA props. Alyssa Thomas, I'm looking at her points tonight, over 13.5. She's averaging just under 15 points a game on the road this year. She's averaging just under 16 points a game against the Fever, going over 13.5 points in 4 of 6 matchups, including both games in Indiana without Caitlin Clark. Speaking of Sophie Cunningham under her points and rebounds tonight. So she's averaging just under 12 points and rebounds at home this season, going under 12.5 points and rebounds in 8 of 11 games. In games without Caitlin Clark, Cunningham's gone under in 4 of 6 at home. 2 different ways for Nafisha Collier. And again, I know that it's hard to fade an MVP. And she right now is the favorite to be MVP. But Nafisha Collier has terrible numbers against the New York Liberty. Terrible. I mean, she is averaging, she averages 17.5 points a game against the Liberty and 29.2 points, rebounds, and assists dating back to 2023. Even at home, she's gone under in all 5 matchups. That's her points, lots of red, and that's her points, rebounds, and assists. Just all this red against the Liberty is weird. And I could get someone else to talk about it maybe tomorrow or Friday. But here's the thing. Okay, so Dream, I actually reached out to him. for today. He's sick. He said he might be better Friday. So Dream has a good chance of coming on Friday if he's feeling better. So right now, Dream is locked in for Friday. So we will see. But he's been sick. So we got to let the guy get better. I've been sick too. It sucks. If he's got what I got, I feel terrible for him. Because I can't seem to get... I'm getting a little better. But I'm not going to push it for another half hour. We're going to end the show pretty soon. Hakeem, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. He's on a little hiatus. But we'll talk to him soon. We'll figure that out. We'll figure out where he went. If anyone else has any questions, let me know. I'm going to go through the MLB research guide just to talk about anything that might stand out today. Let's see. MLB was talking about Shane Bieber being a trade candidate. Steven Kwan a trade candidate. Let's see what else we could get to today. Kyle Freeland allowed 4 runs on 4 solo homers in 6 innings against the Orioles on last Friday. The Rockies have won 3 of Freeland's last 4 starts. He's pitched into the 6th inning in each of his last 4 starts, posting a 4.18 ERA in that span. So the Rockies are getting the Guardians. Let's see. I think I looked at this. Cleveland's averaging 18 outs for... Against the Guardians, pitchers are averaging 18 outs. And Kyle Freeland's prop... Freeland's prop 17.5. So let's look at props.cash again. So Kyle Freeland, let's get to... Come on. Why aren't we working? Oh. Kyle Freeland on the road at night has gone over this in 5 of 7 starts. He's averaging 17.3 outs. But again, he's gone into... so 17.5. It's a toughie. Again, he's pitched into the 6th in each of these 4 starts. Into the 6th. Not completing the 6th. So something to keep an eye on. Kyle Manzardo gets a start against a lefty after a 2-homer game on Tuesday. Manzardo's batting .378 with 5 homers and 13 ribbies in his last 11 games. But he's only started once against the Southpaw since Memorial Day. Manzardo's hitting .188 against lefties. So that's why you might not see him. Tyler Freeman has 4 hits and 8 at-bats in the first 2 games versus his former team. He was dealt to the Rockies for Nolan Jones just before opening day. Freeman's batting .310 this season. His .389 on base is 7th in Major League Baseball, so you can look to Tyler Freeman today. Warming Barnable hitting .400 with 2 doubles and 2 homers in his first 4 big league games. He joins Trevor Story as the only Rockies to record 4 or more extra base hits in his first 4 career games. That's interesting. And Hunter Goodman is on the verge of a 20-homer season. He is 4th in the majors in slugging, hitting .642 since June. So those are some other players that you could keep an eye on. I always am lost on the chat. Home run. Ohtani for the home run. Marley. Oh, you guys get Marley. There she is. Say hi. Marley, say hi to everybody. Yeah? You want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk with your aunt? Oh, you want to eat. Do you want to eat? Yeah? Auntie Lulu will feed you. Auntie Lulu will feed you. Okay. Now Marley's going to get her dinner. She get a cup and a half or 2. Whatever. Samich, he's always away. He's got kids and stuff. Chris Paddock shoved in his first start for Detroit. Shocker, shocker. Ariel Epstein, how about my wife hitting a 5-legger? Wow. What did she hit? I want to know what she hit. What was the 5-legger? Grand Slam. Andrew Vaughn. Ohtani off an 0 game. Homers almost every day. The data is wild. Mariners close to getting Yohan Duran. What about Barnable? Barnable, 6 for 15, hitting .400 with 2 doubles and 2 homers in his first 4 big league games. He joins Trevor Story as the only Rocky to record 4 or more extra base hits in his first 4 career games. Marley. It's a she. It's a she. Yes, Marley. Auntie Lulu. My sister name is Alexa, but we call her Lulu. It's a It's whatever. Over under 1.5 cups for Marley. It's close. I don't know. It's close. Yankees Rays over. Okay, let's talk about the Yankees Rays game. So the Rays have lost 13 of their last 16 games away from Tampa. The team has the most road games remaining of any club in baseball. Yikes. Let's see. Littell lost in Cincinnati on Friday, allowing 5 runs on 10 hits in 6 innings. Littell has now surrendered an MLB worst 26 homers in 2025. He's 3-1, 4.81 ERA, and 4 career starts against the Yankees, including a 3-2 win back on May 3rd. He surrendered 8 homers to the 97 batters he's faced across those 4 innings. Over the last 2 months, dating back to May 30th, the Yankees are 6 games under 500. The Yankees continue to pursue starting pitching help, blah, blah, blah. Will Warren allowed 2 runs in 5 2/3 against the Phillies last Friday, getting a no decision. Warren struggled in 2 starts versus the Rays earlier this year, allowing 6 runs, 4 earned, and 16 base runners. It's a 5.68 ERA. Cody Bellinger is hitting .346 with 11 homers and 25 ribbies in his last 32 games. Paul Goldschmidt has good numbers against Littell. Johnny DeLuca has reached base safely in each of his 12 games this season, including his first 3 off the IL. He's hitting .419 in 12 games in 2025. So hopefully that helps you guys a little bit. Adley to the Padres? That would be crazy. And on Soroka under outs yesterday, working through the data yesterday, only made it 3 innings. Oh, there's the parlay. Indians, Dodgers, Yankees, and the 2 starters from the D-backs, Tigers, each over 1.5 Ks. Wow. Well, yeah, that alt is got it. Good for your wife. Congratulations to your wife, by the way. I don't know if I would take an over in Yankees Rays. I'm on the Littell over Ks, but I think he does decent after a few bad starts. So you want to look at the Ohtani. Would you say Ohtani after going over? I'd have to see what those stats are. That'd be really interesting. But I could take a look at Ohtani props. So Ohtani on the road at night, home run. He's hitting 45% of his road games. Marley's back. You want to come? Marley's back. Say hi, Marley. Hi. Hi. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Florida Buckeye 21. I probably have to go soon. Getaway day unders. Ohtani. He's got a lot of homers on the road. That's kind of crazy. He's hit 45% of his games have been home runs on the road, 35% at home. Very interesting. After going over, I don't have those numbers, so I'd have to. Marley. Sean, I always say thanks to you. I always say thanks for tuning into the show. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being a dedicated listener. I think it's great. Okay, let's see what the packet has to say about Ohtani. So, well, MLB actually had a lot to say about Will Smith. Smith typically struggles in the second half, but this year he's batting .350 in July. His .325 batting average leads NL qualifiers by a wide margin. Smith could become the 5th catcher to win the AL or NL batting title. He'd be the first since Posey to do it. And remember, we talked about Smith earlier. I do like Will Smith tonight. So just something to keep in mind for Will Smith. Shohei Ohtani leads the National League in home runs and runs, but had a forgettable game at the plate on Tuesday, going 0 for 5 with a career high, tying 4 Ks, 6th time in his career. Ohtani makes his 7th start since returning to the mound from his UCL internal brace procedure. He's steadily gone deeper into games, throwing a season-high 46 pitches in 3 innings against Minnesota his last outing. Dave Roberts noted on Sunday that he hopes for Ohtani to go 4 innings tonight. Ohtani will also start next Wednesday as the team expands to a 6-man rotation, with Blake Snell expected to return on Saturday. Emmett Sheehan, who is on regular rest after starting Friday, could be moved to the pen to cover the multiple innings, piggybacking Ohtani. So nothing here about Ohtani hitting home runs, but That's what I've got on that game. Any other questions, or else I am going? Shawn Michaels says Ohtani's hitting 2 home runs tonight. Apparently, Ohtani has the shortest odds to hit a home run tonight, and he's pitching. That's pretty crazy. So I understand, Shawn Michael, what you're Thank you, Shawn Michael. I'll say thank you, Shawn Michael. Note it, everybody. I said thank you to Shawn Michael. Marlins Cardinals. Meh. Who cares about that game? But I do have a play in that game. I told you guys, just know about Kyle Stowers. Kyle Stowers, he's hit 12. He's had a hit in 12 of his last 13 games, hitting .455 with 7 homers and 15 ribbies in that span. Cal Quantrill's been great in his last 2 starts. He faced the Royals and the Brewers, allowing just 1 run on 5 total hits over 11 innings. Agustin Ramirez has been struggling, hitting .143 over the last 5 games. So you could look to that under. Rangers Angels tonight. Evaldi's won each of his last 4 starts, allowing just 1 run in 23 2/3 combined innings. That's a .38 ERA in that span. Evaldi beat Atlanta last Friday. He battled with some command issues due to a tight back, but he was starting on 11 days rest. Evaldi's 1.50 ERA leads the majors this season among 112 pitchers with at least 80 innings pitched. Batters are hitting just 102 against Evaldi's curve this year with 26 Ks. Evaldi's 4-1 with a .82 ERA in his last 5 starts against the Angels. On July 7th in Anaheim, he gave up 1 unearned run over 6 innings in 13 1/3. See. I mentioned Corey Seager. He has a .462 on-base percentage, 23 runs scored during a 28-game on-base streak. So he's a name that I like tonight as well. Then lastly, Shea Langeliers has followed Kurtz's lead, hitting homers in 4 of the last 5 games since coming off the IL. His 8 home runs are tied for 6th in Major League Baseball. The A's are slugging .490 in July. No team is more dependent on the long ball than the A's and the Mariners. Jeffrey Springs gives up a lot of home runs. He surrendered a home run in 6 of his last 7 starts, and his 20 homers allowed this year are top 10 in Major League Baseball. So you can be looking for some home runs against Jeffrey Springs from the Mariners side of the ball. Let's see. Springs has a .604 ERA in April, but a .353 ERA in 16 games dating back to May 1st. He limited the Mariners to 2 runs in 11 innings across 2 outings this year. Ace pitchers have allowed 3 runs or fewer in 6 straight games. All-star Brian Wu has allowed 2 or fewer runs in 6 of his last 7 starts, going 3-1, .203 ERA. Wu allowed 2 runs in 6 innings in Anaheim on Friday. Wu tied Randy Johnson's club record of 20 straight starts with 6 or more innings to begin the season. Wu is from Oakland, 6-0 with a .166 ERA and 8 career starts against the A's. Mariners have won all 8 of those matchups. Wu struggled in West Sacramento on May 7th. He allowed a season-high 5 runs, including a Lawrence Butler home run. Brent Rooker, he's an under today. I told you guys that in the matchups to watch. 1 for 17 with a homer and 8 Ks against Wu. Cal Raleigh hitting .297 with 3 homers over his season-best 8-game hit streak. He was just hitting .125 over his first 13 July games. Randy Arozarena has 3 steals over the last 2 nights, swiping his 20th bag of the year last night. He now has 5 consecutive 20-homer, 20 stolen base seasons, one of only 10 major leaguers to do so. Tyler Soderstrom, he has a 16-game hit streak against Seattle dating back to September 2023, hitting .344 with 4 homers. So you can look to Tyler Soderstrom tonight for a hits prop. 16-game hit streak, hitting .344 with 4 homers. That's interesting. So those are the players to be looking at tonight. Again with the chat. Okay. I'm going to best bets. They're my pitcher props tonight. Zach Littell over 4.5 Ks at +120. I like this because he only had 3 in the first start, but the Yankees, 6 of the last 9 righties to face the Yankees since the All-Star break have had at least 5 strikeouts. So Littell's second time around should be able to hit that 5 number for plus money. Nathan Eovaldi over 6.5 Ks. The Angels are one of the most strikeout-prone teams in baseball, averaging close to 6 strikeouts a game. Eovaldi had 6 in the first matchup, and he pitches really well with a 2.44 ERA in Angel Stadium. So I'm going to go with the over 6.5 Ks tonight. And then my favorite hitter prop is probably Corey Seager. I like that he didn't get one yesterday, and he's done really well against the Angels, hitting 302 in his career against LA. And he has really good numbers against Soriano, going 4 for 6 with a homer or 2 homers. So I would be looking at Corey Seager tonight. Now I'm going to go enjoy Marley, walk the dog. I'll see you tomorrow if we talk. What do you guys want to talk about tomorrow again? You guys said it in the chat before about getting someone on tomorrow about, Hall of Fame game. Duh. Okay. I'm going to think of someone for Hall of Fame game tomorrow. Might not be as long of a show. We'll see. Very small slate. I think there's 3 baseball games. One is an afternoon Yankees-Rays game at 1 o'clock. We've got like 1 WNBA game, I think, and then the Hall of Fame game. So, but we have the trade deadline to talk about. A lot to happen at the MLB trade deadline tomorrow. So maybe we'll talk how some futures move as well. Thanks, guys, for tuning in for today on the Prop Queen Pod. Good luck to your bets tonight. I will speak to you all mañana.